then. So we'll just skip the rest of the Virtus Pro time because it was a lot of bad times. You said you don't want to talk about negatives. It was a lot of rough times. But actually, one point, you mentioned it earlier, and I was going to ask you this because I always do my homework, mate. A lot of people won't know this, Cuban, which is that in this Apex team that you're the coach of now, as you say, the player that you brought in is a player you basically discovered to like tier 1 or tier 2, which is JL, the Lithuanian player. Now, a lot of people won't know this because they only saw him at this major where he was fragging. But you brought him in when you were the coach of Mad Lions. This was one of the players you brought in to make that like mixed roster. And I remember back then, I think maybe it was even you told me like this guy's going to be like one of the next best players, like his skills really high level or something. Who is this guy? Why have you chosen to use him in your teams?
So when I started working for Mad Lions, we got connected basically because of I wanted to build a team more around performance team and like good coaching stuff and taking the youngsters. I'm not a fan of, buying 5 superstars and like putting tons of money just to get the players and trying to make them a team. In my opinion, there is a lot of talent on the market that you could take. I mean, I don't want to talk about like money only, but let's say cheaper players or even for free, which you can make a great team within a few months. And with JL, the situation was like, I wanted to have 7 players in rotating lineup because with experience, you expect more professionalism and it's easier to fit the role. I mean, switch the players if you need another role or, replace somebody, bench, pick the other. Things are easier when you have players who were on the scene for 2-3 years. Then you can have 5, yes. But with youngsters, you don't know. Is it like this player will have no understanding of the game, or for him, professionalism and playing more hours a day, like 7, 8, 9 a day, isn't the thing, or his character traits does not suit my principles in the team. So I was thinking about having 7, 2 oppers and 5 riflers, but we already had 2 oppers, which was Tutson and Woro, and 3 rifles. So JL, 2 or 3 rifles, and JL at the interview, because we were getting the players into the team up to their coachability and not like character traits, but maybe intelligence, I would say. There was no like IQ test people often mentioned when I talk about this story, but there was like a riser test with some certain questions which tells you about coachability of the player and finding himself in some situations. And JL had really good results, but we already had completed the lineup. So we said like, he said he's an opper, but I offered him like, with these results, I see you could be a good rifler as well. And this is somebody we need because we have 2 oppers already. Gave him a few days and he said that he would like to try. And in the beginning, since he has this winner's mentality, which he just cannot lose, but also I think because of us picking him up, he thought he has already won his life and he has accomplished everything. And he was underperforming even, I would say. And then I limited his game drastically to playing only 2 maps. I gave him instructions how to prepare, how to observe people, how to watch, how to set his place, how to communicate. It was a tough decision. We talked in person as well. And it was tough for me. It was tough for him. But he learned the lesson. He started to prepare. He started to play these 2 maps only. He was the best player on both. So with the time going, I gave him more maps and he just proved me on all of them and became our best players, even though we had an opper. With rifle, being a top player is also not usual thing to see. And we built this, not like a father-son, but let's say close relation of trust, because I heard him with limiting his game time. He didn't accept it, but he was forced. Then he understood. He saw that this was made for a reason, and we built this trust within both of us. And I wanted to bring him into Apex lineup as well. Could have been weight on my shoulders if he underperformed, of course. But I discovered him and I knew his capabilities.
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.